Justin Shackles, Steve Levy welcome you back inside Fairfield Ward. And it's been all Danbury, though. The Hatters running away with it 30-9 over the Mustangs. They've won the last 4 individual matches up to 160. And we take a look at the strength coach for Danbury, Abby Scudder.
Abby Scudder, interesting story. She's been the weightlifting coach here for 20 years and also a wrestler. She wrestles in the USGWA at 98 pounds. She wrestles high school girls, middle-aged girls. She's around 59 years old, and she deadlift a record 310 pounds. So she's a strong lady. She knows what she's talking about, and she has these Hatters strong.
Here we go at 170 pounds. Abby partly responsible for the guns on Wesley Spears.
Jacked.
And there you see Joe Muratori, Fairfield Ward, 13-6, the senior.
Abby Scudder, she's a full-time just weightlifting coach for the wrestling program. No other sport. She's exclusively with wrestling, and 24 of the last 25 years, FCAC champions. Not too shabby.
So Spears and Muratori here at a 170. 2 seniors. Spears very athletic. Also plays football. Started wrestling his sophomore year. Here he's behind Muratori. No points though awarded until then. 2 points for Spears.
Great trip right there into a takedown. Wesley Spears heading to Penn State next year as a student, just going out there, Happy Valley. He came out in sophomore year as a wrestler, so only 2 years of varsity experience. Good football player, defensive end, very athletic, like you said, Justin. Probably the most athletic kid on the team. So now it's a neutral position.
A little confusion there. Muratori with 1 escape point, so it's 2-1 right now. Wesley Spears in front of Joey Muratori.
Muratori, a lot of 6 wrestlers in the weight class for Warde, all football players as well. So Muratori 13-6, and Spears gets another 2 points. So he goes head for 1. 13-6 for Muratori. True weight's around 160, so he's an undersized 170. And the majority of his losses have been up at 170. Likes to get wrestlers in bad positions, but Spears so far on top of things.
You mentioned the last 6 wrestlers are football players. One of the toughest transitions to seasonal sports is probably football and wrestling, because in the fall with football you're trying to bulk up, be as big as possible, and then immediately after around Thanksgiving you have to try and cut all that weight off to make your weight class.
Well, most of the time with football, there's 2 ways to that. Obviously that way, and that's typically maybe the heavier guys, maybe 200 and above. The lighter guys, they lose their muscle during the football season because they don't work out as much as they did preseason-wise to bulk up. So they tend to lose that muscle, so they lose, anywhere from 10 to 20 pounds during the season. But the conditioning is different. Wrestling conditioning and football conditioning, whole other ballgame. That's where the transition is.
We go to the second period. It's 6-3. Wesley Spears on top of Joey Muratori. Spears goes to the bottom position to start off period number 2. Fairfield Ward coming in at 11-1. Danbury at 10-0. They're on a 16-match winning streak overall. See the curly W Ward on the headgear of Joey Muratori. One escape point for Wesley Spears. He's ahead by 4. He'll try and go to work in the neutral position. Head to head. Now Spears backs out. A couple of head taps from Muratori. Good defense from Spears as he sprawls, then turns around, gets the 2 points, tries to let up Muratori, but he turns around and snatches up the ankle of Wesley Spears. Very good intentions from Muratori, but he gave up a gimme escape point from Wesley Spears. seconds to go in the middle period. Spears 9, Muratori 3. And the Danbury senior in control. Trying to drag Muratori to a base. That leg is laced on Muratori, but he has a good grip. Wiggles out of it and is able to score 2 reversal points. 9-5 Spears with less than 10 to go in the second.
Great fight from Muratori right there. And that right leg of Spears wouldn't let go. And like you said, Muratori had a positioning to get an escape point, but kept fighting, picked up the reversal points. 9-5 now heading into the third.
By 4, quick sit out of the first whistle from Muratori. 30-9. Danbury leading overall in the duel. Spears lets up Muratori. The Warde senior trails by 3 with plenty of time to go here in the third. Crowd getting behind Muratori. They stand still at center circle. I wonder if Spears answers my question quickly. Goes in for the shot. I was going to see if he would be playing defense for the rest of the way. High single leg. Let's see what he does with it. Muratori able to create separation. Comes in for the other. Spears collects for 2 more points and is ahead 11-6. On his feet, Muratori gets lit up, trailing by 4 with 30 seconds to go. Muratori's got to move in for a shot. Trying for a quick home run move with a headlock. Maybe trying to drag him down. Spears counters and gets behind him for 2 more points. He's ahead now 13-7. You see Wesley Spears. 11 seconds to go. Spears barring a last second reversal to pin by Muratori will improve to 12-6.
Big win for Spears here as we head inside 5 seconds. 170, big weight class right there. And Muratori gets his 7th loss of the season. Another one for Danbury.
That's 5 in a row for the Hatters. And they now go ahead 33-9 over Fairfield Warde. So Spears improves to 12-6. The senior picking up the win as he shakes hands with head coach Ricky Shook. You see a couple of youngsters. They could be in the Danbury feeder program or the Warde feeder program.